I said, what has my life come to? Is this all you want me to do? I didn't want to spend all my life in jail. I like sleeping with my wife. Well, discouraged and feeling sorry for myself, I just sort of just threw my Bible down and just sat up and just pouted. But you know what? God spoke to me that night. Told me 4 things. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to quit. 4 things that God told me while I'm in jail. Number 1. I heard the Lord say, Walter, and I said, yes, Lord. Now, I really don't want to hear from him, so he has to call me again. He says, Walter, and I said, yes, Lord, but I really don't want to hear him. He says, Walter, and I finally recant. I said, all right, yes, Lord, what is it? Now, there's nobody up but me, and I'm having this conversation with God, just like I'm talking to you. He says this. Number 1, the extent to which you love the world is the extent to which you have been compromised by the world. Let me say it again. The extent to which you love this world is the extent to which you have been compromised by the world. Church, let me ask you a question. What is that this world has that you love more than Jesus? What is it that the world has? Maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your home, maybe it's your Social Security, maybe it's your health insurance. Probably won't be that much longer, but maybe it's your car. I don't know. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your land. I don't know, but what is it that you have that the world can give to you that you love it more than Jesus? God said to me, the extent to which you love the world, that's the extent to which you have been compromised by the world. Now, I know about you, but I was getting a message. I kind of wanted God to have better bedside manner. I mean, I'm in jail. I'm suffering for righteousness' sake, and he's questioning my commitment, you know. But God wasn't through with me yet. I wasn't hearing that. He said, Walter, I said, yes, Lord. He said, Walter, I said, yes, Lord. He said, Walter, the extent to which you are willing to sacrifice your life for Christ is the extent to which you will serve him. Let me say it again. The extent to which you are willing to sacrifice your life for Christ is the extent to which you will serve him. You got to ask yourself the question. Are you willing to sacrifice your life for Christ's sake? Not for anybody else's sake. Just for his sake alone. If you ever wondered how far you'll go to serve God, well, what will you endure to serve God? How far? How much? What's your limit? Where do you draw the line? Well, wherever you draw the line, that's the extent to which you're willing. And so when the devil comes along, he just draws the line right there in the sand. Well, that's as far as you're going to go. I'm going to take this from you. It's going to cost you this. It might cost you some of your health. It might cost you a loved one. It might cost you a job. It might cost you a little money. Maybe it's that bank account. But that's the extent to which you're willing to serve God. because that's the extent to which that you'll serve him. Well, now after that, I'm getting it. The Lord doesn't have to, hit me, too many times. And so I'm starting to come out of this pity party, but I'm not through yet. I'm coming out of it slowly, reluctantly. I'm dragging my foot. God says to me something a little more personal. God says, Walter, I say, yes, Lord. He says, Walter, I said, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I'm listening now. I'm listening now. He says this, and this is personal. Walter, the extent to which you fight for life, he's talking to me, the extent to which you fight for life is going to be the extent to which you, me, will have life. Let me say it again. It says, Walter, the extent to which you fight for life is going to be the extent to which that you're going to have life. I don't know about you, but I understood that clearly. You see, abortion in the African American community is a Holocaust. We're about 12% of the population, but according to the latest CDC report, the 2008 data says that while we're at 12% of the population, we account for 40% of all abortions in the United States of America. 12% responsible for 40% of all abortions in this country. But I'm not done yet. You see, half of us are women. So now we're talking about 6%, responsible for 40% of all abortions in the United States of America. But wait, I'm still not done yet. If you consider childbearing age from 15 to 44, you're now down to 3%, responsible for 40% of all the abortions in America. Abortion in the African American community is a Holocaust. You don't have to look any further than New York. In New York City, just one city. Anybody from New York? Any New Yorkers? Got one maybe? No? Oh, okay. In New York City, in the African American community, in my neighborhood, my people, for every 1,000 live births Black Americans have in New York City, for every 1,000 live births, babies that make it out the womb, just birthed, for every 1,000 live births, there are over 1,400 abortions. For every 1,000, there are over 1,400 abortions. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out, do you? There's more death than life. If we don't stop, there ain't going to be no more Black Americans in New York City. Now, I followed that trend all the way back to 2000, and it's been true since 2000. My heart just broke. I got to the end of the data and just cried. Black Americans are aborting their children at such a high rate that, quite frankly, we don't have another 40 years to try to figure this out, to try to end it. We're the number one customer of the abortion industry. Nobody has more than we do. Well, the extent to which, Walter, you fight for life is going to be the extent to which you will have life. You see, if I don't fight for life, I can't sleep at night. I'm constantly fighting for life because my people are perishing. Lord have mercy. Last thing he told me was this. You can Take this from me. Last thing he told me, I've only talked about this once before, but last thing he told me was this. He said, Walter, I said, yes, Lord, he's got my attention now. I know my mission. I understand my calling. He's taken me everywhere to talk about this issue. He said, Walter, I said, yes, Lord. He says, the extent to which you have the ability to take action. The extent to which you have the ability to take action is the extent to which you have a moral responsibility to do so. Let me say it again. It's the extent to which you have the ability, whatever that ability may be, but it's the extent to which you have that ability to take action. That's the extent to which you have a moral responsibility to take action. I got to ask you, what are you doing for Christ's sake? What are you doing for the children, for women and children? What are you doing for those that don't have a voice? What are you doing for those that can't get out the womb? Are you letting anybody know that God loves them and their baby and you gonna help them?